Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we're trying to make MechJeb not be suicidal. Let's see if this works. Off you go, MechJeb. Maybe don't force the roll. Okay, it did do that roll. Like, seriously, MechJeb, I had no problems with that sort of destruction because I wasn't going in this direction. I mean, we may have to actually move these 90 degrees in order to make them a little more compatible with MechJeb. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's revert back to the vehicle assembly and just say, we're doing this for MechJeb. I mean, I launched this craft a billion times as it is, but MechJeb is struggling. So let's just swap it over 90 degrees. Because I think MechJeb assumes that any side boosters are actually on this side rather than on this side. Okay, we're going to go ahead and save that, and let's launch. Actually, I should have checked my staging. We can fix it. It'll be fine. Okay, yeah, staging is actually correct. MechJeb, ascent guidance, not attitude adjustment, ascent guidance. Okay, 6 degrees, limit AOA. We can do a force roll climb, that's fine. Let's go ahead and go. So MechJeb, are you going to fail this? Maybe MechJeb doesn't fail this? Hopefully not. Be nice if it didn't. Like I said, I was kind of getting tired of gravity turns. Would like to be able to automate this portion. Come on, MechJeb. Don't mess up. But I think with these on the side now, rather than this way, they're this way. I think that'll be good because we're constantly pitching forward like this, and that's why we essentially rotated straight into it. I usually launch with them on the side like this, so that's why I didn't have problems, but MechJeb was doing a roll. So I think we're good. We're not limiting our max Q, we just passed max Q. Our boosters are just about out. It should auto-stage those. 2, 1, now. And it did. And it didn't take out our main stack with them. Good job, MechJeb. Excellent. So far, so good. Oh yeah, stage fairings when dynamic pressure is less than 5 kilopascals or altitude is over 50 kilometers, or aerothermal flux is greater than 1135, what is that, watts per meter squared? I think that's watts per meter squared. Although, watts is a weird thing to measure that in, isn't it? I'm not actually sure what unit that W is. Oh well. So we will be staging our fairing relatively soon. Our current inclination is almost dead on for 6 degrees, which is excellent. We won't have to burn any fuel doing a corrective radial or anti-radial burn. Why did I say radial? It's normal. And normal or anti-normal burn, depending on which direction we want to go. MechJeb does kind of struggle with some rocket design launches, though. Like, if you have low thrust-to-weight ratio, it can have a hard time actually hitting your desired apoapsis. If you have boosters on weird sides, sometimes it freaks out. MechJeb can just kind of be temperamental? Is that a word? It's not a word. I was going for temperamental. That's more of a word. Okay, so we still actually have a ways to go here with this burn. We're almost out of our first stage. But that's fine, we have plenty of delta V. We are now fine-tuning apoapsis and coasting to edge of atmosphere. So MechJeb has us right at an apoapsis height of about 100 kilometers right now. And now it's just waiting until we get into space before it can finally really know what the final positions are looking like because of things like atmospheric pressure causing issues. But we're almost to the edge of space. And then it's going to start circularizing. Right about now, it put in the circularization node to burn right at about the apoapsis. And it's going to just circularize. Easy peasy. Good old MechJeb. This is what MechJeb feels like when it works. It feels great. When it doesn't work, you just sit there for hours and you're just like, MechJeb, why are you doing this? Fine, I'll do it myself. But this is why I use MechJeb, though. Nice and relaxing to watch the locket launch itself. I don't know. I'm not Asian. I don't know what's going on. In fact, all of the Asian people that I know don't even do that. I'm not a stereotypical Asian. Also, the fairing didn't auto-deploy. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Go ahead and deploy fairing. Ah, and there goes the solar panels. Gorgeous. Okay, we are warping to our circularization burn right now. And we are at it. I don't know if it's going to auto-stage here. We'll find out. And it did. Excellent. We didn't need much out of this tank to finish our circularization, though. So here is our satellite in proper orbit. Excellent. So next, as you can see, our inclination does actually match that of Minmus. We are at a 6-degree inclination. At least I think it matches. Let's see, Minmus is going like this. We're going kind of like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and use MechJeb again to do a maneuver to just home and transfer to target. Are you set as our target, Minmus? No, you're not. Ascending and descending nodes. 9.5 degrees. Lol. Okay, let's just match planes. Apparently it did not launch correctly. Inclination of 6 degrees is not apparently what we were looking for, which is a little strange. But we're going to go ahead and do this. We've got plenty of delta V. There's no concerns. Apparently we needed -6. I swear the wiki said 6 degrees. Let's see here. Orbital inclination, 6 degrees. Yeah. Okay. The wiki definitely says that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this. Match our planes with the target. And then once we have this satellite in position, we'll start the planning stage to land on Minmus. We're going to largely use the same lander that we landed on the moon with, I think. But, I mean, it's going to need less delta V, but it'll need a little more to get there. I think overall it'll be fine to use basically the same design. We'll just upgrade its tech a little bit. I mean, we'll have to rebuild it since I was clever and saved over the lander edition. But that's fine. Thrust to weight ratio of this thing is 0.93. It's not awful for a maneuver stage, but it's also not great. Out of curiosity, we need a materials bay on this satellite. Lol. I should have checked. Let's just go back to the vehicle assembly. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. So we need a materials bay. Is that in the payload? Does that count for a Science Junior? Does that count as a Materials Bay? Observe Materials Bay. Yeah, I think this is a Science Junior. I would not normally put a Science Junior on something like this. It's a kind of terrible idea. It's very expensive. It can only be run once. We're going to need to edit this fairing. So where is it? Here. Let's go ahead and edit the fairing. We're going to need to keep going up a little bit more. And then we're just going to close the fairing. Like that. Okay. So we're going to call this the Mark II Stupid Edition. There we go. It's not a great idea, but we'll go ahead and do this. Okay, let's get this thing actually in orbit this time. Oh, I should have checked that. I definitely should have checked that. I'm sorry. I feel like I wasted everybody's time. Luckily, not very many people watched this, so I didn't waste that many people's time, I guess. So let's go ahead and I suppose we can do the ascent guidance. And instead of having this orbital inclination here, we can instead, get rid of this, select a target. So we want to launch into plane of target. Right there. So is it going to auto warp? It would appear it is not going to auto warp. I guess we'll go ahead and warp this and see how this actually works. I don't usually use these features, so we get to find out together. Okay, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Let's go down to 5x. 1 minute. Okay, so the question is, it usually doesn't launch itself. It waits for me to launch. So is it going to launch itself this time? Well, let's go ahead and go back up to here, and then we'll go back at T-minus 20 seconds. And let's find out. Are you going to launch on your own? Maybe. Oh. Okay. It would help if I had engaged autopilot, I think. I think it would have auto-warped if I had. Okay. We are going to select min-miss for a timed launch. Set as target. We want to launch into plane of target, engage autopilot. Yeah, and now it's auto-warping. Excellent. Again, I feel like I'm wasting everybody's time with this episode, but, I mean, that is what you come here for, so it's all good. 10 seconds. We're awaiting liftoff. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Oh, this went back to 6 degrees. I wonder. We'll see if it actually launches into the plane. Not sure if it will or not, but whether it does or not, we have plenty of delta B to get there, so this is the final launch. Now that we know for a fact that we have what we need for this, because we have a materials bay on the satellite, so we're good. So no matter what, we are definitely going to entered orbit of the sun. No, we didn't. Whatever. So no matter what, this is definitely going to min-miss with this launch. I'm just trying to see if this is actually going to try to launch into the plane of the target. With the orbital inclination being at 0, I don't know. It's weird. All we need it to do is to get into orbit, though, and then we're fine. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, it stages off the boosters. Bye, boosters. It was nice knowing you. You did your job. They boosted, in case you were wondering. That was their job. We could use this material study right now, but honestly, I feel like we're going to be better off using it in orbit of Minmus and then transmitting. We're going to lose some science doing that, but we can only do this once with this thing. I don't know why we have a materials bay on this. It's a terrible idea, but whatever. KSP decided that this is the way it was going to be. So yeah, we're going to get into orbit relatively soon. It looks like it's just going for an equatorial launch. That's fine. We can always adjust our plane later. Let's see, our current inclination is 0.6. Or no, that's eccentricity. Our current inclination is 0.09 degrees and descending. So that's good. Our inclination will be basically 0 once we get into orbit. We are about halfway through this primary burn, and we have about 40 seconds left to burn in this stage. This isn't quite single stage to orbit. If our orbit altitude was a little bit lower, it probably would single stage to orbit, if you don't count the boosters as a stage. Which they kind of are. This is still pretty massively overkill for what we're trying to do, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, we have an apoapsis height of 75 kilometers. Make that 80 kilometers. We are just about done with this burn, which is good because we are just about burned out. 5 seconds left. We're definitely not going to get our circularization done with this thing, but we're going to coast all the way up to space with it, for sure. We should deploy our fairing. Absolutely. For whatever reason, the auto-stage fairing doesn't seem to be working, but that's fine. It will auto-deploy these solar panels once we get out of the atmosphere, which will be at 70 kilometers. Right now. There they go. It also set us up our circularization burn. So we're going to have, actually, most of that will be with this stage. We're just going to be dipping into this stage for about 60 meters per second, actually like 55 meters per second. So that's great. One nice thing about MechJeb is it does achieve these orbits faster than I do, because it does warping, which I generally don't. So it will speed up our gravity turns as long as we don't have MechJeb issues. But that should be fine. So let's go ahead and open up our... Ooh, this looks ugly. Our maneuver node editor. Nope, our maneuver planner. There we go. And we can get rid of our ascent guidance soon, TM. First we need to get the circularization burn done. Go ahead and freeze our rotation there so that MechJeb warps up a little bit faster. There we go. And let's go ahead and throttle up anytime now, MechJeb. There you go. Excellent. And off we go. We can safely get rid of the ascent guidance window now, because we are in basically a perfect orbit. Inclination of 0.05 of a degree, 5% of a degree, eccentricity of 0.00039. It's a very nice orbit, MechJeb. Couldn't have done better myself. Okay, we're going to match planes with target. There we go. That'll be 236 meters per second. That won't be too bad. So let's go ahead and do that. Because we just need to get to that 6-degree inclination. I have no idea why putting 6 degrees in MechJeb doesn't come up with this 6-degree inclination. It's a little weird. And I feel like it should. I mean, we could theoretically just simply launch into a rendezvous with the target. MechJeb does have that option. We might explore that a little bit with our next mission, now that I think about it. Let me make a note on that. I already have a note for the next one, since this is the last episode in my play session. I already have a note for the next one to land on Minmus next. But I'll add in and try out the MechJeb launch to rendezvous. There we go. Okay. There's that in my spreadsheet. Okay, we are going to be burning momentarily here. Right about now. Oh, it actually burned a second earlier than I thought it would. I guess it knows something about the estimated burn time that I don't. Rounding issues or something. Who knows? Okay, so we are now matched planes with the target. Excellent. I mean, technically, we probably could have found a rendezvous eventually without matching planes, but it's a lot easier to do it this way. And we'll just home and transfer to target. We'll create this node, but we're not going to execute it immediately because home and transfer to target, for some reason, sets you right smack dab in the center of the planet. Well, whatever the body is. Come on. I want to modify this maneuver. I don't... Come on. KSP. Stop it. Let's jump over to the moon. There. I want to modify this. I think that adds an orbit to it. Let's go ahead and recreate this node. There we go. Now we'll jump over to Minmus. There we go. Now it's working. And we just want to... Ooh my. We just want to slightly adjust this. Oh my, this is not slight at all. This is extremely not slight. Okay, let's get rid of this node. Let's create another one. Okay. Now we need to be going the other direction. So we need to go this way. Have our periapsis be 289. Oop, that's too sensitive. Okay. That's 358. 280. Actually, we'll just put it right on the circle. Well, the ellipse. Okay, fine. This is being temperamental. We'll just... That's good enough. Execute next node. Fantastic. We could grab this materials study, but for the reasons I stated earlier, I don't think that's a fantastic idea. Then we'll go ahead and make this burn. Our thrust to weights are kind of messed up because of this stupid Science Junior as well. Very obnoxious. Okay, let's go ahead and warp. And I think, again, because this is the last episode in my recording session, I think that I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit over my normal time where I would put a cut in. And we're just going to we're going to run this mission to completion, however long it takes. Probably not going to take more than a couple minutes, over 25 minutes, so. But we've only got 30 more seconds before 25 minutes, so. Yeah, we'll just run this mission to completion. It won't take too long. Just got to get this rendezvous here. Another small adjustment here, and then we will warp again. So right about now-ish we'll begin the warp. Anytime now, MechJeb. There we go. Excellent. Fantastic. And the burn will begin now. It's going to be about a 2-minute burn. Well, little under 2 minutes. And it's going to burn off a fair amount of our delta V that's left in this maneuver stage here. But that's okay. The satellite itself has a maneuver stage that I don't think we have ever dipped into. Actually, maybe we did when we did that polar orbit. Because that one got pretty down to the wire, now that I think about it. I blame lack of MechJeb. And lack of experience with manual polar orbits. But it's all good. So this will be finishing up in 40 seconds. I don't actually see min-miss yet, unless that's min-miss. I think it is. See it flickering there? The other things in the skybox don't flicker like that. I'm 95% certain that little dot is min-miss. Yeah, I'm 100% certain that's min-miss. Has to be. Once we start warping, we'll really know, but I'm really certain that that's min-miss. It's also moving against that background. That's gotta be it right there. Okay, so this burn is now complete. Excellent. And that's surprisingly close. So we're going to go ahead and add a small circularization maneuver here. I mean, we're not going to do that. I was burning normal instead of retrograde. Now we don't want to get that close. We'll just circularize this a bit. Something like that-ish. And then we'll just do a couple of corrective burns for it. We'll need to match the inclination a bit better as well. It's an equatorial orbit. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll execute this next node. And this will tell us for sure if that is indeed min-miss, although now I believe I've lost it. Where are you at, min-miss? Is that it? I think that's it. Maybe. Well, we'll certainly find out when the time warp starts. Why are we turning so slowly? Are we not executing this node? There we go. Now we're executing the node. I was just like, why aren't we turning in the right direction? Yeah, I'm like 95% certain that that's min-miss again. I think I've got it back. Target reacquired. I have requisitioned the target. Okay, as soon as we get over this way, then we will start warping. Yeah, that's gotta be min-miss right there. There is no other option. I mean, unless it's like one of the other planets, but I don't think it is. It's in the right place for min-miss. Okay, the warp has begun. Yeah, look at it move. That's definitely min-miss. That is 100% min-miss. Hi, min-miss. Okay, so let's do our circularization burn here, which will be momentarily. There's the moon. Right about now. Can I time a MechJeb burn or what? I'm okay with that. Okay, so that should circularize us. Well, not really circularize us, but put us in orbit. Wasn't really an attempt at circularization. Okay, so we are currently here. We're near the ascending node. Let's here ish. Actually, let's go all the way around to here. Oh, we're control locked? Oh, we don't actually have any connections currently. We're behind the planet. Yeah. We should reestablish a connection soon, but we are control locked. So let's go ahead and warp to right about here. There we go. Now we're connected. We can go ahead and cancel that warp. And then we're going to do a maneuver here to burn retrograde and put our periapsis basically right here. Although we can move it this way a little bit, like so. There we go. That'll work. And we'll go ahead and execute that node. .4 meters per second. I wonder if we'll have enough. Well, we have 3,500 in the tank. Well, 3,400 in the tank. I think we can do this. That's my theory, anyway. Okay, let the time warps begin. 10,000 decks. Fantastic. Okay. And here goes our burn of very, very little time indeed. And it's over. Oh, that was the most exciting burn I've ever seen. Okay. So next, we need to, at the periapsis, go ahead and increase our apoapsis slightly. Oops, didn't quite grab the node there. Increase our apoapsis to be about there. 0.3 meters per second. And then we'll just need to fix our inclination, which will be easy enough. We'll just do it at the descending node. So are we going to warp? Oh, we were control locked. That was what the problem was, I think. So yeah, we'll be briefly control locked now and then, but it's not too bad. 0.3 meter per second burn. I think we've got enough fuel. We'll give it a go. It's not like we have massive amounts of overkill or anything. We might as well grab this materials study at this point and transmit it. Oh, 0% science value. Nope, no point. Okay, so all we need to do now is match the inclination. So at the descending node, right here. Wait a second. We're going the wrong way. Okay. Can handle that. Just need to go out until we are right about there. Execute next node. We need to see, the problem is we need to go this way, but we're going this way. We came in the wrong direction. Also known as I'm an idiot, but I can fix this. Just need to invert our direction, and the most efficient way to do that is to just go out all the way to the very edge of the system and then burn retrograde until your periapsis is back to where you want it to be. It won't be too bad. Okay, so then once we're here, going to go ahead and add maneuver to burn retrograde, flip our orbit like that, and then come right on back out to where we want it to be, which is about 289. So right about there. Okay, and now we execute that. It'll take us a lot of time, but it won't take us much fuel. That's the key. Okay, MacJeb. We're already 10 minutes over on this episode. Make this quick. We can also just do a change inclination. Potentially. What is our inclination orbit here? 2.1 degrees. Is that what this says we're off by? Well, it says 176 right now, but that's because we're going the wrong way. So once we finish this up, then we should be in a better position. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going the correct direction, and we're 4 degrees off in our inclination. Periapsis is a little lower than it needs to be, so let's go ahead and lock to the to the prograde node. We are not control locked, so let's go ahead and do a... Oop, that was too much burn. Let's pop on back to retrograde. I was not expecting that to be that touchy. One of these days we'll get there. So we're going to have to be very, very careful here. So right about now-ish for the burn, but, well, I mean, more like now. I mean, that was too much, too. I hit the X and it didn't stop it. Okay. Let's just physics warp this so that we turn a little bit faster. There we go. Okay, so 289. 287. 291. Close enough. Okay, once we reach this periapsis, we want to then add a retrograde maneuver to bring our apoapsis down to... I didn't press a button there. Down to 359. Okay. So right... there. Excellent. And then the primary issue is just our inclination. Execute next node. Here in 4 more days. It'll warp quickly though, we're already facing the correct direction, so it should be fine. 2 days, 1 day, and we are just about ready. There we go. Well, this has been a little awkward, but we've still got plenty of delta V. It's almost like we've overbuilt this or something. Couldn't possibly be the case. There we go. Kill rot. Oh wait, is that close enough? Apparently they didn't want us to do the inclination change. Okay, I'm fine with that. Well, I guess there's that mission done. So next episode, we will be working on our Minmus landing, although we almost certainly won't actually land on Minmus next episode. It'll probably be the episode after that. But this one has gone over significantly, though. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here, and I will see you all next time.